And when we look at what's happening in Ferguson right now, in Missouri, we know the anguish of violence and discrimination and racism and rejection. And how do we wrap our arms around individuals and communities so that we can hold them dear? Where we can cry together and be angry together, but to know we can work together to make a change. Racism is alive and well. We're working hard to dismantle it, but we've got a lot more work to do. I'm benefited by white privilege. I know that. But I'm trying to use this privilege in a way that opens up so that all are privileged. There is a way forward for the 100%. So while we work on specifics like transportation, like just wages, like how we pull together, we've got to work at the shadow side of our culture, which is our history of racism, of discrimination. And we, the people, can make a difference. We've made strides. We've made huge strides. We've got a long way to go. And sometimes we get tired. Do you get tired of this? I really thought if I dedicated my life 50 years ago to working for justice, we'd be in a lot better position than we are now. Anybody relate to that? Amen. Amen. But when I was lamenting that the other day, somebody came up to me afterwards and said to me, well, just think of what a state we'd be in if you hadn't dedicated your life to this. So think of that, too. We've made progress. Things to celebrate. Things like the earned income tax credit, the child tax credit, the various entrepreneurial activities that you all are engaged in, creating opportunity for communities, the conversations that exist, the organizing that exists, the real data on real people's lives, and the real stories. You put those two together, and you all are a powerhouse of news that we need to make sure is shared around the country. Because too often in our either-or thinking, we'll just call each other names, talk to people who think like us, and not talk to them, all right? The challenge is we have missionary work to do. Now, I do this from faith, so I'm sort of used to missionaries, but you all need to be missionaries of community action. And what I'm advocating is what I call grocery store missionary work. Grocery store missionary work means wherever you stand in line, and I hardly ever stand in line anymore because I always do everything on the internet, but at the grocery store, I still have to go buy my groceries, so they're creating systems around that. But what I've discovered is that I can say to the person in front of me or the person behind me, hey, are you worried about wages? Or are you worried that so many people are struggling at low incomes and not being able to support their families? Another one of my favorites is, what do you think about immigration reform? Now, what I've discovered is just about everybody has some idea. They've got some thoughts, but we do not talk to people about these critical issues. In D.C. here, we'd rather talk about the Nationals or the Redskins or the Wizards, or we'd rather talk frivolous things and have the illusion of connection. But with our illusion of connection, we're losing our democracy, I think. And where we need to go is serious conversation with folks we don't know, because we, the people of the United States, need to form this more perfect union. Now, what that means is you got to risk hearing some stuff you'd rather not hear, but at least you'll know what some people are thinking. And the benefit of doing this in a grocery store line is it doesn't last nearly as long as your Thanksgiving dinner table might. So if we do this with folks who are just around us, we can create a community conversation. And you all are the folks who know how to get your community going. By conversation, by engagement, by hearing what's on people's minds. That's the way forward. Then we can have conversations with Congressman Ryan about, well, he has a point. He has a point, business needs to be included, but it's not the only point. It's both and, it's the 100%. We can talk to folks who believe that the Koch brothers, I'm dying to talk to the Koch brothers and say, okay, let's just have a conversation. Leave your money out of this. You be one person, one vote. Let's go for it that way. Be at the table, but don't control the conversation. That's what we've got to do. So what I urge you to do is to be missionaries for the good news that we, the people of the United States, can stay at this. It's about the 100%. It's about business and government acting together. It's about making a difference for all of us. Because if those who are struggling at the margins do better, we all do better. If those who are at the top learn to share a little bit of what they've got, we all do better. And you know what? They will also do better because their quality of life is being eroded. There's this fabulous book called Spirit Level that lays out how the 100% suffer when we have this huge income and wealth disparity. So we need to invite everyone into the center. That is the myth of the middle class, but it's also the truth of democracy. All of us need to be engaged in the middle.